Okay, today, folks, we're going to be going over a game that I've been playing recently that I like a lot. A lot. I've liked it. I started playing it recently, and I have to say, it has one of the best communities I've ever played a game with. So technically, the game I'm talking about is Arc Raiders, the PV multiplayer extraction shooter. That used to be a very known genre. It used to be a very what I would like to call played out genre. But with the recent release of Arc Raiders, it has seemed to burst new life into this genre. The reason why this genre has been going downhill over the past couple of years, to be quite frank, is Tarkov has become really doo-doo. And Hunt Showdown has also become doo-doo, but the community that plays Hunt Showdown is not a community that would play Tarkov. And the community that would play Tarkov is not the same community that would play Hunt Showdown. Now, Hunt Showdown has recently gotten a lot of great updates to the game that's kind of fixed the 1896 update. The 1896 update and rebrand kind of fucked a lot of things up in terms of gameplay mechanics, in terms of a lot of different things. Hit reg was an issue for a little while. It was really laggy. It took a long time to load a lot of assets in. However, they seem to fix a lot of those issues. On the other hand, Tarkov is recently riddled with a lot of hackers, a lot of cheaters, hit reg issues out the wazoo. Supposedly, Tarkov is getting re-released on a new engine. I forget what they're exactly calling it, but it's like the new Tarkov version, and it's supposed to be really good, but I'm not buying it. Tarkov is in an unplayable state, I would say. A lot of people are quitting the game. A lot of people don't like the game. I would say the game is very, very, it seems to me to be very, how do I say? It's been played out. I would say also the community that plays it is just like the diehard community. There's not a lot of new players coming to the game. The game's kind of hard to learn. But on that note, Arc Raiders, on the other hand, is not that hard of a game to learn. It's kind of easy to learn. It's got a little bit more going on extraction shooter and crafting wise than Hunt Showdown. However, what I liked about Hunt Showdown is technically Hunt Showdown is an extraction shooter. But what I liked about Hunt Showdown was the way bosses were held, right? So there's these bosses, everybody on the map could see these bosses, and everybody would kind of congregate over to these bosses. Tarkov works a little differently. You're doing a lot more looting. You're going to certain POIs to loot, and you'll just so happen to stumble upon a couple of people. What I like about Arc Raiders map design is it kind of naturally flows. So there's certain extraction points that you can go to on the map, and they're dynamic. Almost everything on the map is dynamic in terms of being on a timer. So there's sort of this natural flow to the map, or to each map, I should say, because there's 4 maps upon release. And you unlock each map just by simply playing the game. So by the time I think you have to play 18 games, and that doesn't take that long at all, to be quite frank. Maybe 180 minutes, maybe 3 hours to unlock literally all the maps. Very easy to unlock all the maps. And you basically, what you're doing is you're going to the map, and there's POIs, and each POI has a different tiered loot. So if the POI isn't outlined, it's not that great of a loot for that specific game. And each game, the POIs switch up a little bit. Then there's better POIs, and these better POIs are yellow highlighted, and they tend to have more player versus entity combat in them than the other ones. And they also tend to attract also more players. And that only gets worse when you go to red combat zones, or red zones, I should say, red looting zones. It has the best loot on the map, but it also has the most entities, in my opinion, because there's the most players. It tends to just attract more entities to that side of the map. It also has more players because more players want better loot. So there's that. But I would like to say that, the dynamic flow of the match, it feels good in general. Honestly, it feels very good. I don't have a problem with it. The game's easy to learn for somebody who's is coming to the hobby new for extraction shooters, I would say that you'll be perfectly fine playing this as your first extraction shooter game. It's very easy to understand, very easy to learn. It's made by Embark Studios, which is a studio that's known for the finals. It's kind of a new studio, I want to say. Haven't heard of Embark for a while. The first time I heard about them was for the finals, was when they started making the finals, or when the finals came out, really. I played the finals for like a week. It was good. There are some things we didn't like about it, but for the most part, it was good. And then we stopped playing it because, I mean, it's just not our style of game, to be honest, to be frank. But Arc Raiders came out, and Arc Raiders is good, I must say. Apparently there's 12, like from what I've heard, there's 12 maps that are going to release. That's what they have planned for, 12 maps, which I think is going to be sick. Every map I played so far plays a little bit differently. I like the events, the timed events. I like a lot of things about the game. And a lot of people are liking the game as well as I am. To be honest. Like Arc Raiders is peaking right now, as of the filming of this video, at 462,000 players, around that mark. So it's peaking right now. It's peaking. And the game is actually, its all-time peak is actually up as of the filming of this video. So there's only gotten more and more players over the past week since it was released. And I think it's great. If we were to compare this to Battlefield 6, another great game that's come out recently, another better game, or another good game, I should say. I don't know why I said better game. Another good game right now is peaking at 430,000 players. So more people are playing Arc Raiders than Battlefield 6, which Battlefield 6 is a AAA game. That being said, Battlefield 6 is by no means bad. I think it's good. I just think a lot of people are liking Arc Raiders. No reason not to like Arc Raiders. I like a good bit of competition. I like good competition amongst game companies because that only makes better games for gamers. So Steam users in the review section, I like to quote these numbers for data. It's sitting very positive right now with 90% being positive. It has great gunplay, a lot of people are saying, and I agree. The gunplay is very satisfying. It's a longer time to kill, but if you hit your shots, kid. Play the ninja clip. But if you hit your shots, you kill people like pretty fast. So I kind of like the way the TTK feels. You have to hit your shots. It takes about 2 good mags, but there's not that much recoil. It's bloom based. It's over the shoulder. You don't lean left or right in this game. You switch from your right arm to your left arm. I actually like that feeling a lot in a lot of third-person shooter games. I think that comes from Metal Gear. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or Ghost Recon, it might be from. One of those games. But I like it a lot. It feels good. Metacritic rated it an 87 out of 100. So it's the highest rated Metacritic multiplayer shooter game, since Overwatch, when Overwatch came out originally in 2016, which the hype levels for this game seem around that level. OpenCritic is rating it a 92 out of 100, a possible Game of the Year contender. Strong action, strong atmosphere. That's a lot of what I'm seeing within their reviews. But I like it a lot. Is it a Game of the Year contender? No. Do I think it's Expedition 33 quality in terms of like storyline, in terms of doing something new? No. But what I do like about it is it feels good. It feels good. It runs well. Everything plays well. It plays about as well as you could possibly expect from an extraction shooter. The maps are massive. Another thing going into the dynamic field of the map changing is over the course of the game. If you drop in at the start of the game, so closer to 30 minutes, you're one of the first people on the map. But as the game's progressing up until the 15-minute mark, people are dropping in. And so you have people constantly throughout the whole map. Like there's always like hot zones around the whole map. So you have to be really careful. You have to be really cognizant at all times. You don't just go. What I don't like about Hunt Showdown is there's 4 squads. There's 4 squads, right? It's very tactical, sure, but there's only 4 squads. And, what tends to happen is everybody goes towards the bosses, right? But there's not a dynamic changing of players in Hunt Showdown, which I do think could be a good improvement based on what I've seen in Arc Raiders. Obviously, a Hunt Showdown's kind of one tap headshot with any gun, so it could be insanely shit, but I wouldn't mind that idea. Embark is going to be a highly active studio. They have a lot of upcoming patches. They have a 2025 roadmap, and every update's free, which I like. The minimum system requirements is an i5 6600K, or for my Ryzen folks out there, which I am one of those. As a Ryzen 5 1600, I used to be an Intel guy. Long story short, Ryzen's better right now for CPU processors, especially when it comes to gaming. Minimum RAM requirement is 12 gigabytes. The GPU recommendation, or minimum, sorry, is a GTX 1050 Ti or an RX 580, that's good minimum specs, I would say, for most people, because the recommended is an i5 9600K or a Ryzen 5 3600, which, again, most people own those CPUs or have better CPUs. And the recommended graphics card is an RTX 2070 or an RX 5700 XT, which I do think those are very, they have had a long shelf life, those cards. So I believe the RTX 2070 was released back in 2020, 2018, I want to say, sometime around that timeline. So yeah, the game is great. I haven't had too many personal issues. The game is the best solo extraction shooter I can comfortably say in the extraction shooter genre right now. So if you're a solo player, and Tarkov is not doing great, so I like the competition in the extraction shooter genre. Hunt Showdown hasn't been doing the best as of a year ago. It's doing a lot better now. And it's probably going to do a lot better that Arc Raiders has come out, because they're feeling the competition and then they see how big the genre is. But Tarkov is just, it's in the bin. I'm just going to say it. Tarkov could have been so much, but hopefully Arc Raiders keeps doing what they're doing. I trust the studio. I trust Embark. I've seen what they did with the finals. The finals started out great, then it went down a little, but then it's come back recently. And it just goes to show that the studio is not going to give up on their game. So I personally put some trust in the studio. I don't put a lot. I don't put a lot in any studio, but I do put a little bit, which is more than nothing like EA. So I'm going to tell you all this now. If I had to choose between this, Battlefield, and Dispatch, I don't know what I would pick. They're all great games. I played them all. They all feel good. They all play well. Maybe a Dispatch is a little bit overpriced now. It is a Telltale game, but has some great acting, had a big budget. So yeah, I like all the games. I like Arc Raiders. This was meant to be an Arc Raiders video, but I compared it to a lot of different games in this genre, which I feel is it's apt to, but I think it's great. So without further ado, y'all, I hope y'all have a great day. Also, quick side note, this game was built on Unreal Engine 5, and no, it does not run like dog shit. Furthering my point that the launcher is not the problem, or not the launcher, the engine is not the problem. I've known this for a long time. I've been telling you all this for a long time. Unreal Engine 5 is not the problem. If game devs are blaming Unreal Engine 5 for being the problem, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't. But anyway, y'all, I hope y'all have a great day as always, and remember to junk it out.